To bring us updates on stories trending around the world is Vimbai Muchinhiri Ekpenyang, who of course is here with us.
Yes.
Hello, Vimbai.
Hello again, Dr. Abati. We're fighting the good fight until our sisters in arms return to their regular duties.
Good one.
Well, until then.
You're not doing badly.
Okay, I hope so. I'm managing. Yes, just, I know what you want to say. Say what you want to say.
No, not on television.
Okay, fine. Let's get cracking with what's trending. He's still laughing. One of these days I will say it. No, let's get straight into what's trending. As we begin in Akure, Ondo State, where students of the Ondo State College of Health Technology on Monday took to the streets to protest alleged extortion by the management of the institution. The protesting students also decried what they described as the deplorable state of infrastructure on campus, including classrooms, hostels, laboratories, and water supply. They converged at the institution's main entrance, barricaded the gate, and set tires ablaze while chanting solidarity songs. The protesters accused the school authorities of imposing what they described as unjustifiable charges on students despite the poor learning environment. Let's take a closer look. Now, one of the protesters said several appeals had been made to the management to resolve the issues, but the efforts had yielded no positive results. The provost of the college, Emorua Oluambe, denied the allegations of extortion leveled against the management. He, however, said the Ondo State government had intervened and called for a meeting, and so they are promising to give a comprehensive response at a later time. However, in a similar development in Kwara State Police fired tear gas at protesting students of the Kwara State Polytechnic who took to the streets to protest the designation of their campus as a temporary orientation camp for NYSC, whose permanent campsite in Yikpata in the Edo local government area. Yikpata.
I will not tell you the meaning of
in Edo local government area of the state these are serious issues. The orientation camp was relocated due to fears of bandits' attacks. Now, while the students were away on the Christmas New Year holiday, 2 batches of posted NYSC members had resumed on the Polytechnic premises, with facilities already designated for their use. It was gathered that on resumption from the holiday break on Monday, the students were asked to proceed on a 3-week break to enable the NYSC members to carry out their camp exercise, which the students rejected. So the protest became violent when a team of police officers deployed to quell the riot tear-gassed the students as they were struggling to gain entrance into the campus premises. All right, well, let's take some reactions. The students in Kwara State Polytechnic are being thrown, this is a tweet, are being thrown tear gas because the school decided to shut down for 3 weeks because NYSC camp orientation is supposed to hold there for 3 weeks. 3 weeks of lectures will be stopped and exam starts immediately after the break without students being properly prepared. This is so unfair on the students. The NYSC staff can hold while students also have their lectures. One doesn't stop the other. Well, Wale also responded in his own tweet saying, well, it's not possible to have both run simultaneously. Very risky for both. I work in a tertiary institution, Polytech to be precise, so I know. I think the management erred with the communication and time management. Had they made an early announcement about it, this wouldn't have happened. Now, of course, all of this, in Kwara State, the governor of Kwara State, Abdulrahman Abdulrazaq, has since issued a directive to close the institution until further notice. But, Dr. Abati, this is all coming on the back of ASU signing the agreement with government to resume work, all issues resolved there. But it seems that the issues bedeviling the university system are bigger than ASU and ASU strikes.
No, okay. In this particular case, we're talking about the Polytechnic. The Polytechnics have a different kind of organization called ASUP.
Yeah.
But in this particular case, the students are saying they don't want their schools to be, their school, Kwara State Polytechnic, that is, to be used as an NYSC orientation camp. The basic reason, as you have pointed out, is that this is during school session. Exams are around the corner, and then you ask them to go home for 3 weeks and then come back immediately from break and then write their exams. You know how it happens when you disrupt the school calendar. Some of the students, when they go home for 3 weeks, they don't even remember to read their notes. They will come back, they will have forgotten everything that they were taught during the semester. So out of concern for that, the rhythm of learning, I guess that's why the students were protesting. But the scene that I saw, the video that I saw, it looks like they were having a dancing session. Keke aluta, wagbemifo. They were playing music. I thought it was a celebration until I saw the part whereby, tear gas was being used. However, I thought that previously, NYSC orientation camps are usually held when schools are on vacation. So there's no clash between NYSC orientation and school session. I don't know what could have happened that now students have to vacate, during session to allow NYSC students. But proper communication, as one of the commentators pointed out, could have taken care of all of this. The students could have been sensitized. But I doubt if they could hold NYSC orientation camp while the students are in session. That's a response to the person who said both could be arranged simultaneously, because the orientation camp exercise is an intense exercise. And I don't think that, the location in Kwara State is Yipata, as Rufa Hosseini was pointing out. I think it's Yipata, Midodo, which is a different kind of intonation. Yipata, Midodo, as opposed to Yipata. Please, yes, mind your language.
We're doing serious business here.
However, as for the other school, the Ondo State School of Health Technology. Now, I think the good news there is that the Commissioner for Health in Ondo State, along with the permanent secretary in the Ministry of Health, immediately visited the school and reassured the students that the, state authorities will look into the matter. Increase of 500% with minimum wage at 70,000 naira. I think, that increase percentage is quite on the high side. But that's not the only thing the students were complaining about. They were also complaining about facilities in the school, which the Commissioner for Education says, the state will look into. They were also complaining about the attitude of the school authorities. I think these are ancillary issues, that should be looked into. Yeah. And then, of course, we have NEL Fund. That's the fund introduced by the Tinubu administration, which students in public universities, public institutions, can access. And I guess the students themselves, they can take advantage of this, because NEL Fund, we're told, is already operational and is functioning. Absolutely. But in any case, it's good that they didn't destroy the same facilities they were complaining about, So, but I didn't hear them singing the same song in Yipata, Keke Aluta. All right,
Rufai, I'll come to you as we look at other developments that have happened. Now, conversation continues as the Lagos state government continues its planned demolitions of various estates and structures deemed illegal across the state. Now, this week, the upmarket Lekki Palm City Estate drew public attention as property that visibly falls into the luxury category came under the hammer. You may recall that in August last year, the Permanent Secretary of the Office of Physical Planning, Engineer Oluwole Sotire for Lagos State, issued developers of 176 estates a 21-day ultimatum to begin the process of regularizing their documentation or face sanctions. It accused the estates of violating planning regulations by not securing layout approvals, which it said was a mandatory requirement for estate development in Lagos State. In a demolition of a different nature, however, former Minister Oby Ezekwesili has condemned condemned the demolitions taking place in the Makoko area of Lagos, accusing Lagos and federal authorities of state-sanctioned oppression of the poor. In a memorandum published yesterday, Ezekwesili argued that Makoko residents are not squatters, but Nigerian citizens who contribute to the Lagos economy through fishing, trade, and informal enterprise, yet have been treated for decades as though poverty invalidates their citizenship. Ezekwesili referenced reports that Lagos State officials had initially assured Makoko community leaders that demolitions would be limited to structures within a 30 to 50 meter safety corridor beneath high-tension power lines. According to her, community leaders cooperated based on that understanding. However, she says that the demolitions later extended beyond the agreed limits, engulfing homes, schools, clinics, and livelihoods unrelated to safety risk. However, the governor of Lagos State, Babajide Sanwo-Olu, has addressed some of the condemnations, specifically those raised by civil society, and he's accusing them of seeking to profit from the situation. Well, we did have a video of Governor Sanwo-Olu saying that he feels that these NGOs and CSOs make huge profits from the status quo, and that is why they are speaking up.
Well, the question we should ask the Lagos State government is, okay, this demolition, when are we going to have a human face? All of a sudden, you want to gentrify the city, but you forget that the city has a cultural and historical antecedents. It's so easy for Governor Sanwo-Olu to say that NGOs are making money from Makoko. But when they were touting Makoko as the face of Lagos, when they had a floating school being built in Makoko and they were touting that, okay, one of the places that have a floating school, that have a floating village, didn't Lagos State take the glory then? So why are they accusing NGOs now? So NGOs that came in there to do the work, take for instance people like Otto Oradam that had a school being built there, slum to school, that made the place visible. When people came to Lagos because of Makoko, the important work going on in Makoko and the peculiarity of Makoko, didn't Lagos State government take the glory then? Then now we are destabilizing people. Just like it's been done in Makoko today. Oby Ezekwesili said there was a boundary that was given. You violated the boundary, you went one step ahead. So where should those people go to? And you displace these people, you think it will always be okay with them. It will never be okay with them. Look at the case of Jakonde. Today, Jakonde is prime real estate. Everybody wants it. But when Lateef Jakonde was investing in that axis many years ago, where were these people? If Jakonde had not opened up that area, will you say you want to build prime real estate there? So we need to be able to strike a balance in city planning. And that's why sometimes I don't know how our leaders think. We go to Davos. We'll probably go to Davos and talk about sustainable living, sustainable building and everything. But is this how the same people behave in the conferences we go to? We are talking about jobs and unemployment. Rolake was talking this morning about 30 million people need jobs on the African continent. We can only provide 3 million. What about the jobs being provided in those areas in Makoko? The schools, the teachers, the hospitals, the ecosystem around there, the fishing community. So what happened? The livelihoods of those people gone. Because why? We want to probably gentrify. Look at, what's it called? This other area that we talked about the other time. That they also demolished. No, apart from Jakonde, close to Owuroshoki. The same thing around that area. So when are we going to have the human face? I'm not saying please not take your laws, do not gentrify and everything, but gentrification must be done with an air of human sympathy.
Absolutely.
Okay, no, just footnote. 2. 1, I listened to Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu. He said it's very clear to them, the point that is being made, that urban renewal should have a human face and that they are not, trying to dehumanize people who are living in the Makoko area. That, in fact, is not the whole of Makoko that is being demolished for real estate reasons. The governor said that the people have been told not to exceed between 120 to 150 meters to the location of high-tension wires in that area, and that it's for their own safety that they do not go and build illegally under high-tension wires. So the governor made the point about safety. The second point he made is that people were beginning to encroach on the territory of the Third Mainland Bridge. Yes. And that also is not safe. And that the state has a responsibility to protect the people from themselves. I think those are 2 legitimate points. But I agree with the argument that when government does all of this, yes, you should also think of, the plight of the people. How can they be assisted? How can they be relocated? So Makoko is still there. It's not that it has been wiped out. However, the final point, that was made in this regard is, okay, will government pay compensation, even if it says it's trying to save the people from themselves? And as to the issue of the NGO, that some of these NGOs, they are trying to satisfy their sponsors, people who have given them grants. The governor says the state government has concrete evidence, and that it will provide the evidence that some of these NGOs and their sponsors are not doing it for humanitarian purposes, altruistic purposes, and that the state government will provide the evidence. We call on the state government, if it has such evidence, which is so material in this particular matter, it should make the evidence available.
Absolutely.
But we insist, however, that the government should be seen to be government of everybody, not the government of a particular privileged class looking for, privileged real estate.
Absolutely, very well said. And we do hope that all those who have been displaced have been able to find some sort of suitable accommodation. Now, there was a flurry across social media when a video of the Minister of Interior, Olubunmi Tunji-Ojo, made a surprise visit to the Nigerian Immigration Service passport office in Gwagwalada, Abuja, and condemned delays in passport processing. He also warned applicants against making extra payments. Well, this is what the scene looked like.
It's division of labor. She is doing enrollment, you are doing capturing. So why must you wait till you enroll everybody before you do capturing? Somebody can go there, call somebody, you do the enrollment, then you do the capturing, the person goes and vice versa. You could do that. So why must you? You're wasting people's precious time. Time is money, time is expensive. It's unacceptable. It is unacceptable. The one that you said is for the masses. That is there, and people are already there. I can see the queue. They are doing enrollment, they are doing capturing. They are there. The ones for the masses, but this place because of VIP, and Nigeria has no VIP. So because it's for VIP and children, and so definitely you people will just be taking SC and be chopping line. Why Nigerians are waiting downstairs? It's unacceptable. When you wear this uniform, you wear a uniform of sacrifice. When you wear this uniform, you wear a uniform of service. You are here to work for the people.
The uniform of service. Well, you can imagine this got X, formerly known as Twitter, very excited. Let's take this tweet from Yusuf, who says, it's a systemic thing. It cannot be changed with verbal outbursts. Automate everything and see how the system functions seamlessly. Esoteric also tweeted and said, Minister of Content Creation. The brother is wearing a lapel mic. Lastly, the Blessed One tweeted and said, that's the one minister I have seen a dramatic change in his ministry. Well done to him. He's doing well. A mix of reactions.
A mix of reactions. See, Olubunmi Tunji-Ojo has gotten some wins and milestones, but I don't think this is right. Dehumanizing officials, because this is dehumanizing, only for good measure that there was a lapel mic being worn and the same was being filmed and it was being released. Even if you're having a conversation like that, and this is the same minister that if an average Nigerian goes and disrespect that immigration staff, you will go up in arms. But you dehumanize them in the bid of making a point. You are the one that keeps talking about gadgets, technology, and everything. Put the automated system in place. Have accountability. If you come in there and you see that they are doing something contrary, you can take notes. Write, issue a query, let them write back to you, and if you are not satisfied, take punitive measures. But all of this, just because we want to show that we are doing something, and this is the way we run our lives in this country. It's just a show off, but nothing is being done. I can bet you, if you have a silent shopper, go to that same department that they did that in. As soon as the minister has gone, with all of these calisthenics, they will just be do like this. They give it to him, they will do like that to him, and they will continue that same system. Like I say, by culture, we eat strategy for breakfast. You don't need all of that so that we can know that you're working. You've done some things you've achieved, but this is a low.
Okay.
Well, I think it came across as something very instructive. Beyond the histrionic nature of it, the skit-making antics, but the minister Olubunmi Tunji-Ojo raised an important point about the attitude of Nigerian public servants. And there have been, testimonies by other persons that when they go to collect passports or have any encounter with immigration service, they are delayed. They are put in, overcrowded spaces. What should take 45 minutes would end up taking almost a whole day. And that is what the minister is trying to point out. What is important is for us to have, not just in the immigration service, where you see have some offices where they are efficient. Yes. At least here in Lagos, the one they have in Ikoyi, the office in Ikoyi, no, they are not as slow as, this example that we have been shown. So the thing is a reform of the civil service for efficiency, for commitment, not for extortion. However, the point that Rufai was making, they say officer come, officer go, barrack will remain. There's that kind of saying. Yes. So it doesn't mean that these people will change tomorrow. They will say, well, he's minister today. When he's no longer here, we'll continue with what we are doing. That's the thing. So we need reform in terms of discipline, efficiency, productivity.
Absolutely.
All it needs to do, have a form where people fill and tell the turnaround time per every department for every passport process being done. And collect it. It's the people. The people, once you fill out when you collect your passport, the turnaround time, when the people fill it out, then you can take from there and sanction any department. Well, that's the way you do it.
Let's see, several ideas, but I think we all agree that the performative...
We will be here saying they should not sack them, you should have humans...
No, you can put punitive measures. I'm not saying sack them. I'm saying put punitive measures in place.
I think there's a lot of debate to be engaged on this topic about whether this is performative and what other ways this challenge can be addressed. But there were several other issues that got people riled up on social media. Musiliu Akinsonya, better known as MC Oluomo, president of the Nigeria Union of Road and Transport Workers, generated reactions after a video of him sharing 5,000 naira to his supporters after a gathering hit the internet. MC Oluomo, who was spotted wearing a face cap that included President Tinubu's famous signature symbol and 4+4 sign, was seen handing out notes to people in a queue who gladly accepted the money from him. The video emerged online days after MC Oluomo's speech at the Zone 4 Zonal Delegates Conference organized by the union in Ilorin on Wednesday, January 17th.
Progress of national progress. Are you all to focus on the right of the union and resting in former glory upon us to what has coming? Honest again, welcome to the conference. Please let us call us Papa. We may. God bless you.
Social media had plenty to say. This tweet from Mo says, I commend him for supporting the less privileged members of his party. I think he shouldn't have made a video of such as it humiliates them. Not every assistance should be publicized, not because it is wrong, but because it humiliates the recipient. People that send account number for giveaway on social media should not be wailing that a party man is supporting his party members. A party is a family, and there's nothing wrong with supporting one another. Yes. Well, Sheun had another response. He said, it's the time of the year again. Campaign loading.
Kundus Fubaba. Kundus Fubaba.
Your take on this party man in party party hat sharing money.
These are part of the Ogweko, MC Oluomo. And no works okay for MC Eko. He's also an author, an accomplished author for that matter. And he's a very accomplished man in Lagos. These are the pride in Lagos State. He's done a good job at making Lagos safe and making Lagos harmonious. These are the true Lagos. This is Lagos. When you see MC Oluomo, he embodies the spirits and the essence of what Lagos is. So, you see, him giving people money and everything is part of, the giving spirit of Lagos. Like they say, so I like to commend him and give him... Doctor, but let me finish my points, please. With due respect. I like to commend him and give him a lot of kundus, for doling out cash for, the people in there. But MC Oluomo, continue your good work in Lagos. You are the true spirit of Lagos.
Okay, Rufai, I have a line for you. Kò sọ́ba méjì lóṣòdì.
MC.
Tuale, Baba. Tuale.
MC Oluomo, spirit of Lagos. No two kings in Oshodi.
No, but it's not about Lagos. It's about politics. The weaponization of poverty. The way in which our people have been so dehumanized that you can buy them. It's 5,000 naira today. As we move towards the elections, it will be more. And this is what we discourage. And we talk about civic education. These people should be educated to know that don't sell your votes. Because if they buy your votes and they bought your conscience, you will pay for it later when the government gets there. The second thing is that the INEC, the Independent National Electoral Commission, has not yet given us a calendar for, for political campaigns. And here is MC Oluomo wearing party attire and distributing money. Where are the authorities who are supposed to enforce the laws? So this kind of impunity should not be encouraged. The people should be educated. Weaponizing poverty is an assault, against the people's...
It's not weaponizing poverty.
What will 5,000 naira do for anybody? It cannot even feed you the whole day.
If you want to have 3 square meals. The people that are collecting income?
No.
It's not weaponizing. It's
what can 5,000 naira buy?
Dr. Abati, for you, what can 5,000 naira buy?
No, for anybody.
For the people collecting it, is golu to them. Especially when it comes from the golden hands of MC Oluomo. It shows the decadence that has happened in Nigeria. It's not by us.
No, MC Oluomo is a distinguished Nigerian.
Yes,
he's
now.
He's the president of the NURTW. He has children who have graduated from
Atlanta,
Cambridge and Oxford. Top universities in the world.
So, I think because of it should be given a national honor.
Preferably GCON. Maybe that's what you have in mind.
GCON.
They must give MC GCON.
Okay. And he has written a book, My Service to Humanity. This is in line with his service to humanity.
So what are you saying, Dr.
Let's go to our good news report.
Don't say that,
now, gentlemen, order. In our good news report today, the first winner of Nigerian Idol, Yeka Onka, melted hearts when she performed the American national anthem at the NBA arena. Yeka Onka, the first winner of Nigerian Idol and a gospel singer, performed the U.S. national anthem at a Houston Rockets game celebrating Nigerian Heritage Night, marking a significant step in her career from gospel music with Streams of Joy Houston to performing on the major NBA stage. She's been recognized for this achievement, showcasing her powerful voice on an international platform for unity and heritage. All right, well, let's celebrate Yeka Onka, the first ever winner of Nigerian Idol, who has now gone global. Just goes to show you that our platforms are still producing, nurturing, and identifying stars, and they're being sent into the world.
You see, that's why sometimes we get really agitated and we get emotional when we talk about this country. We see the greatness, but you see, the leadership class does not match the greatness of Nigeria. In fact, those leading us as a country today have become an aberration to the greatness. So, Dr. Abati, let me moralize a bit. That's why when we are trying to sermonize about what happened, people giving money and everything during the election, it's because the greatness of the people have been taken away, and that's why their lives have been destroyed over the years. So it's not even about the giving of money. It's from when they steal from the budgets and they don't allow the people get good roads, good hospitals, and what belongs to them. It's from when you have INEC technical glitch that disrupt the people's vote. Until today, INEC cannot tell you what it is. So that's how the greatness of people have been stolen long ago.
Also had technical glitches in
Dr. Abati,
Uganda.
Dr. Abati,
it's not only Nigeria.
For good measure. I mean, it just shows the sadness that we now compare Nigeria with the dictatorial state of Idi Amin. For good measure. Somebody, I think Akin Fakpo said something that's been trending, that President Tinubu has 31 states, he will give people 20,000 for election, and if they don't collect, technical glitch will happen in 2027. Don't be surprised. He has just reeled out the story of Nigeria. This country is great, but the leaders kill the greatness.
All right, well, that's all we have today on what's trending. A lot to chew on and take away from this session, I believe, and a lot of moments of laughter as well.
Thank you. And that's a wrap on the midweek edition of The Morning Show.